end of the microsite. And I really want to give a special thank you to Sam Powell and Joli Waldeck. They did the training last year. They're doing the training again this year. They both do outstanding training for our network leaders, and they are available to do training in your network area as well. So you'll want to get in contact with them and make sure you join our network leaders page and that you get to know both of them. Actually, Joli's going to be teaching a Canva masterclass at the national conference, so you'll get to meet her face to face, and of course Sam will be there as well. So without further ado, I am going to turn things over to Sam and Joli. We're going to take about 45 minutes of your time, up to an hour. We'll allow for some questions, and we're going to give you all the tips, tools, and resources that you need to know in order to be successful with your microsite. Now, one other thing, those of you who are new leaders, meaning you're taking office in 2022, your term will start on November 15th, which is the Tuesday after the Women's Council National Conference. We will be flipping over the microsites between Tuesday the 15th and the Thanksgiving holiday. So when you get into late November, you will have full microsite access, and the website will be yours. But make sure, and we just had a session in September called Passing the Baton. Make sure you talk to the outgoing officers about why they designed things the way they did and why it's set up the way it's set up, so that you can build on what they've done, and so that the wheel doesn't need to be reinvented. But without further ado, Sam and Joli, take it from here, and thank you very much for presenting today.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am coming to you live from one of our Arizona East Valley networks, and one of our members, Jackie Durbin, is kindly playing host and handler for your Sam Powell today. We want to do just a few housekeeping things, just a gentle reminder as we play in this virtual space together, to just remain muted until we open it up for questions and you have some. But feel free to use the chat. Joli and I will be paying attention to the chat the whole time. So if you have questions or tech problems, or gosh forbid, one of our audios go down, we can actually still have conversations in the chat. The other thing that we want to highly encourage is during this session, stay off of your microsite if you happen to already have access because of your current leadership role. Let's stay here, be present with us. We are going to be demonstrating live on the national site. So we just want to keep everyone off of that. And we are going to send you home with a, you'll have access to this video recording once it's posted to the national YouTube page. We're going to send you home with a little cheat sheet, a tutorial that is step-by-step of many of the things that we're demonstrating today. So those of us that are visual learners who need to see it in a video, you'll have that. Those of us that like to follow along step-by-step, you'll have that, as well as our contact information, so that you can make us sort of your next first step if you run into a jam in playing with the site, working on the site. We say playing in it because we enjoy it. You are not webmasters and web designers, so we get that right out of the gate, and understand that we're not either. We want to show you how to use the interface that our National Association of Realtors, National Women's Council has provided us. Every state network across our country and every local network across our country is all highly encouraged, and in order to be in compliance with your network, to be using this site that we're going to be training you on today. So we just want you to know, over time, it is going to evolve and change, and so will the trainings and tutorials. So what we teach you today may be very different than what our pages look like and how we interact with them in a year or two to come. So just be aware of that. We pivot constantly, and that's kind of the name of the game. I want to do some mini introductions. Not everyone in this room may necessarily know who myself or Miss Joli Waldeck is. So I want to give you just a little bit of a introduction to us. So Joli Waldeck is a top producing real estate agent in Las Vegas, Nevada. After receiving her license at the age of 18, she's now 19. She joined forces with her mother, Lisa Waldeck, and the dynamic duo were a force to be reckoned with. Joli became a member of our Women's Council of Realtors and eventually served on the local board for 6 years, where she was honored with the award Member of the Year. Since then, Joli has served as a social media influencer on the national level. From there, she's become a national speaker and trainer for boards around the United States. In 2020, she co-founded the Sam and Joli, a virtual training company where she teaches classes on social media, marketing, and branding. She's taught over 130 classes in the past 18 months. She's an advocate for mental health. Her tattoo collecting journey started with a sleeve on her right arm, which encapsulates mental health awareness. When she's not selling real estate or teaching courses, you can find Joli at a tattoo shop, eating tacos on her Peloton. If you read that together, she's eating tacos on her Peloton. I haven't seen that post in social media, but Joli, just a bucket list item. Driving her 64 Ford Ranchero, or at her Someday Farms in Virginia, where she visits with her pig, Charlotte. And just a little quick and dirty about myself. I just like to share that I have been with Women's Council for a little over a decade now. And since that time, I have held a leadership role on a local network, a state network, or on the national level. I was honored to be your 2014 Chicago Network president, your 2016 State of Illinois president, and the 2020 governor, the last year that we had governor as a title in our organization. I've had 14 leadership roles in the course of my career, including some experience on our national executive team, steering committees, and as well as a couple of PACs where we discuss behind the scenes things that we're doing on a bigger level with our organization, and one of your national trainers across the country. Joli and I are certified to do a good number of PMN classes. So if that's of interest to you and your network at some point, just feel free to circle around with us. But let's get back to the show at hand, shall we? I want to just mention that, as you may very well know, every one of us in this room has a personal profile on our Women's Council National page, right? Are we aware? Has anyone, by a show of hands, those of you that have your cameras on, we don't pass judgment here, but we miss you, we miss your faces. By a show of hand, how many of you have personally been in the back end of your own profile and made some updates to your profile page? Yeah, you know how to do it, you're comfortable in that space. We highly encourage and recommend that every year, something happens in your life every year. Maybe you have a new leadership title that you want to add to your profile page. Maybe you want to update your photo because you had some new amazing headshots taken. Maybe you changed companies like I did earlier this year. We encourage every time, every year, go to your profile page and make those appropriate updates. Make sure that your image is showing and displaying. And if it's not, please reach out to Joli and I, and we will do a one-on-one with you, screen share, and get that profile updated, because it's one of the most important pieces of the puzzle as we refer business to each other across the country. Our association, our Women's Council organization, has a relationship with Radius Agent. That referral, it's a real estate company, but more importantly for us, we have a relationship with them on their referral portal piece. So our page, your profile page from our national site, feeds directly into that Radius Agent page. So the more robust you make it on our site, then further enhance it on the Radius Agent site. And Joli's going to show you just a little bit of that, but more importantly, we're going to focus on some microsite. So the first thing I want to do is actually do a screen share. And I just want to make sure I have the website that I want up for you. Please hold. So we thought we would show you just a few of our local network or state network microsites that offer us a little something worthy of sharing, right? So for example, the first one I want to talk about is this Georgia, and I'm going to slaughter the name of it, but it's the GWINNETT network. I want to scroll through this page just very quickly for you, but the things that I noted that I really liked was they have links at the top. They have visual separations, they have videos, they have photos, they have detailed partner pages on display. So let's have a look. Joli, is it displaying the way I expect it to on your side? Do we look good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so somebody is doodling on our page, and I kind of love that you know how to do that, but I'm pretty sure it's not me. So here at the top, I love that they have added their own links here. They don't come with your page, but they were mindful enough to be like, listen, here are links that are important to us in our network that we want everyone who comes to our microsite to have immediate access to. And then they have a little introduction and a little link to a partner packet, which I think is amazing, like sponsorship packet. Imagine this is, if you will, for your upcoming installation. Click here to become a sponsor to our installation. And maybe it takes you to a Google form that allows you to fill in and submit interest, and then it instructs you where to make payment. Imagine it being something like our most recent recorded meeting minutes. There are so many layers to how you can use a link. We just want to demonstrate a few. So they've inserted some photos, some videos. So this is an embedded video that will take you to a YouTube page, if everyone knows the YouTube icon, right? You can upload any kind of graphic that is a JPEG. Joli will demonstrate, I believe, PNG as well. But mainly those two are what we're finding people are using. So if you create a flyer in Canva, as an example, you can upload it here to display. You can also provide a link to click to then secure tickets or register, as it were. So these guys were running a food drive. And so they're demonstrating, like, here's the places you can drop the food drive. Where my head immediately went to this concept was, just imagine, if you will, here are all of our annual sponsors and their contact info, links to their website, a phone number, and an email. Like, you can really display the relationships that you have in your local network in so many different ways, right? You already know there's links at the bottom and logos at the bottom, but let's just peruse a little bit more. Here is their leadership team, and they've chose to display it in this way, which I think is kind of nice and elegant. And then they have their partners, and their partners delivering them a video to put on their microsite. So you put a name to a face and a voice and a personality to the partnership that your network has, right? And I think that that is kind of cool. And links with phone numbers, right? An actual name, an actual link, a phone number, so we can connect with these people quickly. And then depending on the level of sponsorship, your display and content varies differently, right? Does that make sense? So I thought that that was awesome. I want to then take you to another page that I also liked. Inland Valley, congratulations. You made our top 4 to present on today. We like that. Again, here is their leadership team, their contact info. The only thing I would suggest is also having that email displayed right there that I can either click and send an email or copy and paste into the email service that I happen to be using. But I love the name to the face to the let's be able to contact them quickly and meaningfully, and that this microsite now is taking on a different personality, a personality of your network, right? Things that you're invited to, of course. And as you know, there are, in their main page, they're showing us events that are upcoming. There's also a link to the events page, which we highly encourage these same things to be on. But the more you put in front of people, the more opportunity that you have for them to actually click, register, and attend your events. So I think they're doing a great job in using this. Here's a link to Eventbrite. They simply put it in here, and now it takes you to an external site, but allows you to register for that event, right? So there's some pre-planning involved to have all of those pieces ready. So we need the graphic, we need the links, we need the intel for everyone and everywhere, and then just you're going to build the page that Joli's going to demonstrate some of these bells and whistles. And they're also like, listen, here are our social media links, not just the Facebook link on the bottom, but here's our Facebook, our YouTube, and also, how about this, to our members, other useful websites. I thought that that was kind of a nice message. This is what the leadership team looks like as presented and provided by the information you share with National about who your leadership team is. So this is what your public facing profile looks like when you're a leader at one of our local networks. So I can click on an email and email someone their phone number, their website, and I can see what role they play. If anyone, when you get a chance, and not right now, when you go to your own local or state network, talk to your peers. If someone's missing an important piece of data, like a photo, or they changed companies, or some typo is in what is being displayed, please let them know so that we can make this as accurate as possible, and especially for the opportunities of sharing referrals across the country. And then the logos on the bottom, like, they have some really amazing partners where they have not only imported the logo, but it's a clickable link, right? So we will demonstrate the possibility of that. The next place I want to take you is Join Me in St. Charles County, if you will. Again, you can see they're inserting photos, paragraphs of information, upcoming events that they're doing, their entire 2021 events calendar. I'd encourage that to be a little bit bigger, but how amazing that if I wanted to click it and download it, it's there for me. Maybe even providing a link that allows me to go somewhere else to read more about what's coming up in the year. So they're using a lot of flyers, and this, I think, is quite magical. Check this out. There is a whole series of videos where it's the leaderboard with their local network. And how amazing is this as a concept? You could introduce your incoming leadership team in a one-on-one interview. You could interview your strategic partners. You could put up here every event that you do that you've recorded, that you can now have your own archive for that year right here. But because the links are all coming from YouTube, they're always going to be at YouTube, even when we transition this network to the next leadership team the next year, right? And the last thing I want to demonstrate is we're going to end our travels today in Lansing, where they too, again, have a little welcome from their president, a graphic of their leadership team. a photo of their leadership team, and then of course their profiles. And below that, this I think is pretty cool, their upcoming events, because they have some in there and they've said, hey, let's display those. I'm going to stop screen sharing. I just have to say that aloud because it's how my brain works. The last thing I want to say before I hand the reins over to Joli is, as you're transitioning into your leadership role in this upcoming year, in the passing of the baton, there are a couple of things we want you to be mindful of. And one is the cleanup behind the scenes of what's on the site right now, right? So if there are documents on the back end, we encourage you leaving everything that's nationally related, right? So your national bylaws, your local standing rules, your logos, keeping all of those things there on the back end so they're user-friendly and available to everyone moving forward. But anything else that might have been uploaded, various photos for testing, links to videos, is just being mindful of cleaning your cabinet before you sell your house, right? Delivering it in a broom clean, microsite ready version to your next leadership team. So that's all I've got to share with you right now, and we'll share more as well as communicate with us in the chat. But Joli, why don't you take it away with your demos for us?
Good morning, you guys. My Women's Council website is actually down right now. So Sam, is there a way that you can kind of show Radius Agent while this loads back up?
Absolutely. Yeah, let me prep the site on my side and I will be right there. Please hold. Let's do. Welcome to Live Technology 101. Okay, here we go. All right, so since I wasn't prepared to do this, bear with me as I just want to log in. And again, just a reminder that what's important about this relationship with us and Radius Agent is your profile page. So if it allows me in here, and we just can't control the speed of these guys either, is if I go to view my profile in the upper right-hand corner, it allows me to see how I presented my page. So not unlike other social media accounts, where it's like you have a cover that you can design and a profile photo. So being mindful that I changed companies, I wanted to come over here and also make sure that I updated this end. You can see that it's cutting it off just a little bit, so that bugs me. So I'll go in and just tweak the dimensions of that so it shifts over a little bit. And I just built that in Canva, so it's easy enough for me to go back to Canva, move that EXP over, save that image down, come back over here to Radius Agent, upload it again, and just do that until I'm satisfied with the way that it looks, right? What I think is really kind of powerful about Radius Agent is if you do your profile, see, I'm 100%. If it was a compliance thing, I'd have a little badge, a Radius Agent badge, because I'm a good girl. It allows you to share things like your experience. Along the left-hand side, I've taken the time to copy and paste from other resources, things that I've been engaged and involved in, right? Expertise, these are just click things that are just like, yep, I have experience in these things. The cities that I serve, cities and neighborhoods that I serve. Again, on the left-hand side, there's a place for education. And one that's kind of fun is there's a place for accomplishments, and it's a bit unlimited. So if you just scroll with me on the left visually for a hot second, there are people that it just keeps going kind of in a perpetuity. Visit your own profile page so that you can see how your peers are going to see and experience you. And if it feels run on to you, then it might also to someone else. And if it feels robust and really shares about you in a way that you like to present, then leave it the way it is. Your designations appear on the left-hand side. So our Women's Council PMN designation is there. And if you are an RPAC major investor, it displays your intel here, although in my case, it's displaying an accurate intel. And I don't know where that data pull comes from, but it'll require me doing a little investigation, which I'm happy to do. And because sarcasm wasn't a language I could select, I went ahead and selected English. If we scroll back up to the top, and just scroll down a little bit again, now focusing on the center, we have, of course, the experience in the cities. And then I can demonstrate to my peers, if I have a buyer looking for something in my state, in another state, it's a bit like its own social media news feed about my needs and wants for my consumers, as well as active properties. But you can see it doesn't pull anything like the photo, because you know every one of my properties has a photo link to it. So it is not a perfect marriage when it comes to this social media part. But what we really care about is your profile, your contact information. So if I'm looking for a Women's Council member in Las Vegas and I'm using our Radius agent relationship to find that peer, I want to find Joli Waldeck and learn about her here, so that then I can reach out to her and see if she's a good mirror and match for the client I want to send a referral to. Joli, how are you doing on your end?
I am good. It popped up.
So now I'm going to send the microphone back to Joli Waldeck. Thank you for your
Let's
patience.
do it. Thank you, Sammy. Good morning, you guys. Let's rock and roll. Let me move you guys over here. So first, we want to get you guys comfortable with the Women's Council website in general, kind of showing you some important aspects that you need to check out. One being the brand assets page. Brand assets is going to give you all the guidelines that you have to follow with colors, fonts for flyers through any type of promotional material. To find that, you are going to be on the homepage of Women's Council website, scroll to About, and then you're going to click on Brand Assets. You're going to find so much right here. One being all of these amazing infographics that Julian at Women's Council has created. She updates them. They're awesome to use. You can email them out, post them. Then you can go into your guidelines. This is where it is going to give you everything that you need to know with fonts, your colors, anything in between. And you can save these types of fonts. If you go to like Adobe, you can actually save the Baker Signet, as well as the brand colors you can upload into Canva if you would like. We always like to highlight that just so that way you are in compliance. Also, talking about Canva really quickly, the biggest thing that we encourage, and we can highlight this later on, is having a Canva account for your network. Kind of that way you can carry it on to the next year. Everyone sees everything that's been created. And the reason why we encourage that is for the flyers that you'll upload to the microsite, anything that you're going to change photo-wise, like Sam said, for your Radius profile, updating your profile picture, your headers, as well as for your strategic partner logos in the microsite as well. You highly recommend getting a Canva account for your network. So let's head into your microsite. So I am going to log in. And we are going to see this little admin button right here next to renew. Loading your network. So the first thing that you're going to see is your roster information. Keep in mind that during renewals, rosters do take a hot second to update. So give National some time to update those, but this is where you'd be able to see your rosters as well as your not yet renewed reports to reach out to those members. Clicking on edit your website. This is where it gets fun. So keep in mind, I'm going to say two things all the time is you can't break the microsite. You play with it as much as you want. Second thing is there's two type of faces to the microsite. There's the basic editing side, which is right here. And then there's the back office, which you're going to hear me talk about a lot in this, meaning creating events and tweaking a little bit more on different things that you can play with. So on here, the first tab you see is your homepage. This is going to be your president's message. Keep in mind that it doesn't actually say president's message on the back end or on the front end on the microsite. So you can have whatever you would like here. You can have the president's message. You can put in a video like they have right here. Whatever you want to play with, you can do right there. You also have your center content. Again, it doesn't say center content, so you can do whatever you would like, as well as your Facebook link. So on here, what I want to do is I just want to kind of create a president's message. You have your video embedded, and I'll show you that how to do that on the back ends. Let's see. You can, it's lagging for me. I apologize. I am going to head over and grab a president's message from the Las Vegas network. You can see their microsite that we've been playing with. So you can see the Las Vegas network has the president's message right here. And then any of their virtual events that they completed last year, they had 35 virtual events that they did. And so we highlighted those, as well as then our leadership team and the strategic partners. I am just going to steal their little president's message for right now. We highly encourage uploading a video, or you can type out a president's message introducing the leadership team, whatever your goal is for your microsite. Awesome. Continuing down to the center content. For this, I want to upload the calendar for what is going on maybe for that month, for that year, as well as if we have an event that we want to highlight, I would always put it right here. So I'm going to upload a photo right here. Let's see. And a video. We will do that in the back office. So clicking on save right here, and let's head over to event section and we'll head to the back office. So on your event section, this is where you'll upload your events as well as head to the back office. So clicking on create an event, you are here. So this is your event page, and I am just going to create the event right here. Let's do member appreciation. Make sure to title your event. So on the back end, see right here, if you don't title the event, it's going to give you the date you uploaded and the time. If you had to go in and edit, you wouldn't, it's not easy to edit. So making sure to include that title is important to have. Then in your image, I'm going to click the image. Clicking on media, and then clicking on upload. This is where I can upload my photo, my flyer, and clicking on submit. Now your event title, your start date, your starting time, all of the basics for an event. And we will put that. So because it is virtual, I am just going to type virtual for the venue and then leave the street addresses. Anything that you leave blank, it's not going to show street address and then the blank on the other end. I am going to put in the member pricing and the non-member pricing. And the registration link. Something that we encourage is having a document that already has a lot of this filled out. So in my Google Doc, I actually have all of this right here that I can copy and paste. And the reason is protect yourself from yourself as well as protect yourself from your technology. Because technology, we never know what it's going to do. So having this document already filled out, we can copy and paste, and it will always be the same on Facebook, on Instagram, and on the microsite. All the wording will be the same. So on here is I'm going to pull all of this. Thank you all of our sponsors. And then pulling the bio. Adding your registration link if you have one. If you want to highlight your speakers, you can. You can also add photos right here. So if you want to add their photos so people can kind of match a name to a face, as well as the agenda. Now keep in mind, if you don't fill out the agenda part or the speaker part, it's not going to show up blank on the other end. It's not going to show anything of agenda or speaker. And save and publish. So if I head over to the Guam microsite, our calendar, and now you see the member appreciation event. So having all of this information, the more information, the better. And then you can always share this link, or you can show it as your calendar. Sam, is there any questions on the chat box?
We've been tackling as they come in, but generally speaking, people were asking, will we have access to this video? And the answer is yes, absolutely. National records these as we create them, and we'll upload and replace any previous version of the recording. So you get the most robust 2020, 2021, 22 version of it. And also Jeff and I have been sharing where you can go on the national site to access the behind the scenes like tutorials and information access points. And so all of that is in the chat if people want to scroll up and take a look.
Awesome, thank you. So if you've created your event, let's create another event. I want to show you the idea of your adding videos and photos into the event. So let's load this guy. So Facebook 2.0, gonna upload an image, same thing, clicking on media and upload. And submit. Facebook 2.0, and then adding your date. Let's choose a random date. Awesome. So we're going to put in, say this is not a virtual event. So for the description on this one, I want to show a video of Facebook 2.0, maybe an advertisement or a snippet of a special segment in there that they're going to see in person. So through this goes with any type of uploading a video, is I am going to upload that video onto YouTube. I've already uploaded it. It's right here, and I'm going to grab this link. Sam and I have tried other type of sources like Dropbox, Vimeo. We've tried a couple other sources, and YouTube is the best one to upload a video if you want to embed it into the microsite. So I am going to click on this little TV right here, the embed, and put in the URL. You can change the width and the height. And click submit. So now this is going to show up on the event side page. I am going to center this. Out a preview. And I want to bold it. You can also change your header. So save and publish, and let's head over to the Guam side to see it. So now if I click on Facebook 2.0 on the Guam side, now you can see that this video is uploaded. And like I was saying, if you don't fill out the other sections of the event, it's not going to show up blank right here. Same with your location, filling out that location section. This is what it will look like for a member. And now they can click on that video and it will take them to YouTube and play for them. So that is creating that event. You have different things that you can be playing with and doing. You don't have to worry about any of this on the back end when creating an event. The social media section, don't play with or any of that. So really the content section is the only thing that you need to be worrying about. So we are going to head back over into the admin section where this is if you just logged in, clicked on admin and edit your website. So we're on the basic side of editing the website again. Clicking on documents. This is where you can upload your bylaws as well as anything that you would want. Your meeting minutes, you can upload your strategic partner list. So if you want just one sheet giving everyone their contact information, this is where you can upload it. We highly encourage that you go through this. Don't bog down the system with a lot of documents. Have a couple documents in there, but keep making sure that everything is cleaned up in there. Nothing is old, and it's easy for people to be able to find the documents. So this is where you would be able to add a new document in this section and to show you what it looks like on the other end. Let's head over to our network documents, and this is what it would look like for a member. It's like you have too many Women's Council tabs open, lady. Sam, how are we doing while this uploads and loads?
We're doing fantastic in the chat, and we really appreciate everyone's patience with the technology. Just answering a few additional questions, like how does one in this process of handing the baton clean up miscellaneous documents that are on the back end? So I was just answering that most recent question, that it's in the same section where she clicked to add a document. Just below that, you may or may not have seen there was a edit existing docs, and so that's where you would go to just do some cleanup, some housekeeping. So now I'm not writing that in the chat. Love you guys. No, I will, just so it's there for future reference.
There you go. So this is what the document section will look like for a member. They can download whatever they want. Keep in mind, Women's Council does upload your logo for your network in the document section as well. So if you cannot find it for whatever reason and you need a quick and easy way to get it, it's always on your microsite in the document section. Standing rules, all of that. You can see that the Las Vegas site has not cleaned up their documents. So let's actually head into their microsite and clean up those document sections.
Hey, hey, Joli, I'm not sure if you can see me in my hand, but I do have a question that I'm not real sure to answer since you're the expert. Can I rearrange or organize the documents in an order that I want? How easy is that? I would have to upload them in the order that I want for them to stack in that order. So that'll answer your question, okay?
Correct. And that's the same idea as with the partner images. When we get there, there's no way to move them around. So if you have different tiers for your strategic partners, you will have to upload them in a certain manner. So going in the document section, you can see that they have all of these documents, and I am going to just click on remove and it will remove it for me in the document section. So it's easy to delete and clean up. So you can remove those and edit whatever you want. And clicking on edit, this is where you'd be able to just change the name of the document as well as uploading a new document. So that is your document section, and that's how you would clean it up. So I'm actually going to head back over to Guam. I know I keep skipping over. Let's head back over to Guam and let's play with strategic partner uploads. So your partner images. This is your strategic partner section. And if I head back over to a microsite just to show you that section.
Right now? Yep. What the hell?
It is going to be on the bottom right here. So this is where you have all your strategic partners. And if you click it if you upload it with a link, they will be able to click on the logo and it will take them directly to the strategic partner website or wherever the strategic partner wants the information sent to. Again, you will have to upload them in an order on how you want it displayed. You can go into Canva and upload just on a Instagram size square if you want everything clean and everything the same size. You can do that as well. Just going into Canva and clicking on Instagram posts. That's just the easiest size to use. Uploading that logo. That way everything is in a clean, organized fashion. You don't have to do it this way. You can upload just a regular old logo.
How do you spell chaos? C-A-O-S. Oh, I'm not muted. I'm sorry.
So clicking on download. There you go. So now it is saved in here. So clicking on add a new strategic partner. while this loads, let's grab the link for the strategic partner. We always encourage when they agree to be a strategic partner, have them send you the logo and whatever link that they want. Some want their Facebook linked to it, some want their Instagram, some want their website, whichever one works best for them. Always ask and have them send you that link. So I'm just going to grab the link for this guy and we will upload it. So while that loads, see if they'll let me do it on the other end. Remember, the biggest thing with the microsite is patience, and it's an awesome site. It's just a little bit of patience sometimes. Let's see if they'll let me do it from this end.
And Joli, while you're doing that, we did have a follow-up question as it pertains to documents.
Yeah.
We know that we can't restack them if we want, upload them in the order that we want, and re-upload them if we want to change the order. Can we rename them right there on the site? Is that possible to demo
Yes,
if it's possible?
On the edit section, and I will re-show that.
Yep, thank you.
Of course. I'm just trying to have whichever tab responds to me sooner. Let's see. Sam, on your back end, can you see if the admin section will let you work on the partner images? Mine is stuck.
Okay, please hold. And also, will you take a look at the chat and answer for us Denise's question about how we don't want more than one chef in the kitchen? Let me just prep the website on my end.
Correct, Denise. So Denise is saying that you, like Sam said, you need one chef in the kitchen on this. We highly encourage having one person who's in charge of the microsite. You can have another person also in charge, but if as a backup, but always encouraging that one person is always touching that microsite, not multiple people in there. It's better to have one person mastered at it and rocking it. So highly encourage just having one person in charge of the microsite.
Yeah, and we encourage too being incredibly knowledgeable about it because gosh forbid something, happen or come up in their life and they can't make the edit. And then also know that we're sort of that next in line. We're happy to step in and help you and guide you and catch you up. If a leadership position changes and the person who was updating your microsite and now you're feeling a little bit frenzied, tap us on the shoulder. That's where we can really come in and engage with your network and be like, let's get you up to speed, whomever it is who's going to manage your microsite. And the reason I'm actually sharing this also is, Joli, it's loading incredibly slow on my end.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to get in there. So I'm not sure I'm going to be a valuable resource in that respect. I'm also not hardwired in my location.
You are good. I'm going to get out of the tabs.
And, you know, while she's banging around and you can see her, it's technology, right? So it's going to work. It's going to be slow from time to time. It's going to give us error messages and fail us from time to time. What we ask in this technology and all technologies is be patient with the process. It's not perfect. It does give us trouble from time to time, which is why we encourage all of us not being on there together right now. Anything we can do to sort of strengthen our bandwidth as we're trying to instruct, especially not being hardwired in, which would speed up our connection to the national site. But any other questions you guys have while, Jolie, what are we off to next?
I got out, let's see if it wants to work.
And we've got like a 6-minute warning. So if you have questions, please feel free to put those in the chat so that we know we're sending you away with the information and intel that you came here to seek. I am also going to paste in the chat right now some additional links so that you have them as resources, including sort of a fact sheet that National has created, a hands-on step-by-step tutorial of some of what you saw today, primarily on how to bring in photos and videos. Just a pretty simple walkthrough on that in case you're that visual learner. A access point to last year's recording, but this recording is going to be a little more robust than that one. So encourage waiting for this one to be revealed by National before you sort of start playing on your site. But if you want to look at it behind the scenes, just don't make edits to your current site if you're not authorized to do it this year for your network. So let me paste those in there. And at some point, Jolie, in the next couple of minutes, do you want to open it up for live questions, or do you just want a demo and then we'll close it?
Absolutely. The tabs are working again, so I want to show you really quickly. So I'm in the document section to answer how to edit the document name or the document file. You would just click on edit, and then you are able to edit the name of it as well as upload a different document, and then you would just save it. So that is how you edit your documents. And then going into your partner images. Partner images is the exact same style as documents. You upload the photo, you edit the name, and then you upload a link. So it's going to be the exact same style as you see on the document section. Your site images, don't touch. Site images, just leave alone. So that's the easiest way to talk about the site image tab is don't touch them. So in your partner images on this tab, I'm going to click on add a new strategic partner. See if I click on edit.
And we are a 3-minute warning, 3-minute warning.
So we can, if we want to open up questions, the tab is not liking me.
Okay, gotcha. So we are nearing the end of our time that we have with you today. We hope that you got some of the nuggets that you came for on how it is user-friendly. If we can get you to the part of the microsite where it gives us as much access points to the bells and whistles as you can, that's where we always encourage you to go and start building on the website. I put in the chat some of the links that I aforementioned. There's a fact sheet. There's a step-by-step tutorial that we're just going to continue to build and enhance. One of Jolie and my sort of passion projects is we want to create for you a public facing example of what a really robust site could look like with as many bells and whistles as we can create with samples and examples. So all of our favorite things from some of the other sites that we demonstrated in the beginning, we want to build a sample that you guys can come to and be like, oh, I can do that. How do I do that? And then the second website that we want to provide to you is that looks exactly the same, but it's the behind the scenes step-by-step. So here's like Guam, for an example. It's a site that Jolie and I use because we don't have a network in Guam yet. That we want you to be able to see all the bells and whistles on Guam, and then a page that looks like Guam, but it actually is the step-by-step tutorial. Like, oh, you liked embedding a video? Here's an example of how to embed a video and where you need to upload your video in order for it to be utilized. we have found in our testing on the back end of the microsite that there are two places you can upload a video to then grab the URL and use to embed. YouTube being our top #1 favorite that we encourage, and we encourage your network to have its very own YouTube channel, is Vimeo. Vimeo, which is a paid video storage service. Their links also do work on our microsite. We have not found any other service providers where that is true. So our default to encourage you is YouTube, because we can teach on it, train on it, and it can be kind of a universal conversation. All right, what else do we have in here? Just reading through the chat. How many people are authorized to sign in to the site from National? Like we mentioned, there is a, and I can share it again, but I shared it up a little earlier in the chat. Who gets access from National is based on their leadership role in the next year. What we encourage, regardless of who is gifted access by National, is that you as a leadership team discuss and decide who is going to be responsible for updating, managing, and maintaining your microsite. And it may end up being no one on your leadership team, right? There are people in your organization that are going to have this kind of level of talent and interest. And if that is the case, then your president can access through National permission for that individual. Like if I was on your network right now and I had no interest in a leadership track, but I wanted to be your access point for the microsite, you could say, hey, National, we've got this really dynamic kid who's not on the leadership team, but we'd like to really give her access to the microsite. And then they will grant that access. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. Keely, I see your hand up. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question if you still have one?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Our local network was literally disbanded unexpectedly. There is a new regime. We got sworn in at the Maryland state level at an event we had last week. We need access now because the information on there is no longer valid. And we're about to really kick up to get our membership back in order and let our local tribe know, everybody come back, we're here. What do we do?
You're a unique situation, so we would encourage you to work directly with National, right? So reach out to Jeff and his team, and they will put you in touch with the right people to make that happen. Also know that there is a JOT form, and I will put it in the link again. When a leadership role changes, there's a form that National has. That's an electronic form. You enter that information, and then they use that form to update the intel on the back end. So Keely, to empower you, that might be the first place to go. So I'll make sure that that link is in the chat in a hot second so that you can see what I mean.
Okay, thank
Keely,
you.
I just sent you a private message. Send me an email, and I just gave you my email address. Look in the chat function. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jeff. And congratulations on, sort of your relaunch. And we really encourage reaching out if there's anything we can do to be of service as your sisters. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And Jeff, is there anything else that you want to add? We're 2 minutes after the hour. So in closing it up, Jeff, is there any final words of wisdom before we close this out?
Yeah, I know this is a lot to digest in 1 hour. We likely only scratched the surface, but this sort of gives you a roadmap of sorts about the microsite. So I think to recap, those of you who are 2022 leaders, get in touch with the 2021 leaders. By and large, the microsites look great. As you can see, there's a lot of detail behind this, and there's a lot of competency that needs to be understood. All of you who are 2022 officers, nothing's going to happen for the next 20 days or so. We are going to flip over the sites in mid-November. We'll let you know that we're flipping them over. And then, you've got a nice quiet time between Thanksgiving and the December holiday to really, understand the microsite and so forth. So I've gotten a lot of questions from a lot of you saying, are we going to do a second session? We will let you know. We'll evaluate this session and see what the next steps are. But certainly we want to get you all up and running. It's a great tool to use. And in conclusion, I just really want to thank Sam and Joli for conducting this training. They know how it works from a tactical perspective. And I just think, we should give them all a big virtual round of applause for conducting this training today. And we'll make sure and get you more information on this as time goes on. So thank you, Joli, and thank you, Sam. Really appreciate it.
And keep the
And
questions coming.
as always, sorry, one other question. As always, when you have questions and doubts about things, the best way to get in touch with National is to send an email to wcr@wcr.org. We track every inquiry. It goes on a Zendesk ticketing system, and we can look into it. I have a lot of side messages from you all about trouble with certain things like uploading standing rules and this and that. We can assist on that. That's the best way to do it is via email.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for being here. Get back into your day. Go ahead, Jolie. Finish it. Close us out.
No, I was just saying thank you. That's all I was saying.
All right. Awesome. We are going to close this and we'll see you guys in San Diego.
Bye, guys.